Okay, so I wanted to hop on and share what me and Mindy and Lindsay have been learning with Josh Coates in the Art of Recruiting training, because I think that it's kind of like the missing piece that a lot of people don't know how to talk to people, especially on Instagram, and they don't know like how to move them from Instagram to Facebook and how to have those conversations and move people over. So I wanted to go through step by step, and I'm going to keep this to 30 minutes. And if I don't get through everything, I'm just going to have a part 2 at some point, because I don't want to have like an hour call. He does like these hour calls, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like overwhelming. So although I appreciate it because he really is smart, but yeah, that's a lot. So if I don't get through it all, it's okay. I'll just share another time. But first, I want to start out by talking about hashtags. Actually, let me back up for a minute. I think that it's really important to mention that your Instagram, if you're a business builder, should be public. I know a lot of people are uncomfortable with that. I think you've got to get used to it. We're running a business, and the same with Facebook. If you don't want your kids to be out in the world like that, you can make certain posts private. You could do like all of your posts public, and then whenever you post something you don't want everyone to see, you can do friends only or whatever. So make sure that your Instagram is public. I mean, a lot of people are not going to request to follow you if you have like 300 followers. They're not. Like they don't care that much. And then your profile picture should be professional of some sort. And that doesn't mean that you have to run out and get professional photos taken. It just means like make it look nice. If you've got like a picture of like, I don't know, like a unicorn or something, no one's going to follow you and no one's going to take you seriously. So make sure that your profile picture is of you and you only, and very clear and nice looking, okay? Because you want people to I don't know about you guys, but when I go to somebody's page and their profile picture is sketchy, like I don't even bother. I just keep moving. So make sure it's bright and pretty and just you and all of that good stuff, because this is your business. So let me start by talking about hashtags. You are allowed 30 hashtags on each picture, and I'm going to change this real quick. Okay. So you're allowed 30 hashtags on each picture, and you want to use all 30. And I know Mindy said this as well, and it's something that I do too. I don't even think this was discussed, but we both must be really smart. So I use about 28 or so, and then I leave a few so that I can do some that are specific to the picture. So for example, if I posted, like today I posted a picture of PB trimmed. Well, that's not one of my normal hashtags, but I want to hashtag it. So if I had 30, I wouldn't have been able to do it without deleting. So I do like 28, and then I'll add like PB trimmed or whatever the picture is. So come up with 28 hashtags. And this is going to be trial and error. They're not going to be perfect the first time around, but do not hashtag Team Beachbody, Beachbody Coach, Shakeology, 21 Day Fix. Do not hashtag those, because you know what you're going to get? Coaches. You're going to get a ton of coaches, and we don't want coaches following us. We want prospects, right? We want people who want to join us. So do not ever hashtag those things. You want to hashtag things that are more general and like have to do with you and what you're interested in. So for me, I'm still kind of fine tuning mine. I don't feel like they're that good yet, but I do things like boy mom, only child, one child family, former teacher. I even hashtag teacher and reading teacher and things like that, because I relate to those people. That's who I used to be. I hashtag, sometimes I'll do like Charlotte, North Carolina, to find more local people. Do things that don't have to do with health and fitness, but relate to you. And you can do some things that like sometimes I'll hashtag Weight Watchers. I started with Weight Watchers, so I know the program and I can kind of relate to people who are doing that. So I'll hashtag that sometimes. Anything that doesn't have to do with Beachbody is a good thing. So come up with your hashtags, put them in a note in your phone, and save them so that every time you're not like typing them all out. That's so time consuming. So make sure they're in your notes. That way, every time you post, you can go through and just copy and paste and put them right in there. You can put them in the comments, or you can put them in the what is it called? Like the caption. Either the caption or the comments will work. Let's see. That's pretty much all I have for hashtags. Anyone have questions on hashtags? You can type or you can unmute yourself. If I don't see anything right away, I'm just going to keep going, and you can type as we go on. All right. So, your posts on Instagram, don't reinvent the wheel. Like, you don't want to be doing like because we talked about the posting schedule, right, for Facebook. So you don't want to be doing like 4 posts on Facebook and then 4 totally different things on Instagram. That's just too much. I copy and paste because they're different markets. Like, I have a lot of different people on Instagram than I do on Facebook, and yeah, some might overlap, but the chance that they're going to see that same post in both places is very slim, unless they're going and looking for your page. And if they're going and looking for your page, then they want to see your stuff. So don't worry about being redundant. Copy and paste. The thing about, I know some people will link their Instagram to their Facebook page. You can do that. Oh, Jackie's asking us. Okay, so you can do that. You can link them, but you have to know that Facebook doesn't give priority to those things because they're not Facebook. They're not directly Facebook. So it's just like if you were to take a link from YouTube and post it on Facebook, Facebook's not going to show it to as many people. If you take a video and you upload it directly to Facebook rather than putting it in YouTube first, they're going to show more people. It's the same thing with Instagram. So that's up to you. It's a personal decision. I think it's super easy just to copy and paste. It takes me just a couple minutes. So that's what I do, but it's totally up to you. You want to do like the same 3 to 4 a day. I don't always put the same exact things. Like sometimes I'll post more to Instagram than I do to Facebook. Okay, this is a personal preference here. Are there better times to post on Instagram for larger audiences, or doesn't it make a difference? No, I don't really know about that. I know that Chalene Johnson talked about she had 2 big times that were good for her that she kind of figured out through trial and error. And I think it's the same as Facebook. Like you have to just kind of figure it out. Like I know my times on Facebook now because I've done it for so long that I know like when is a good time for my people. So I'm assuming it's the same for Instagram, although I haven't really paid attention. I just do it at the same time as I do Facebook. I'm just like, just go over and copy and paste it. But that's up to you, but that's something you can pay attention to and kind of figure out like when am I getting the most likes, and it also has to do with your hashtags. So there's like so many things that go into it. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions right now. So that's it for posts. So we got hashtags and we got posts. If you have any more questions, make sure you type them as they go along. Scripts. Okay, so here's where we get into the Josh Coates stuff. I'll share this in the page, but I'm going to show it to you real quick. I'm going to share my screen at the end of this if I have time. But this right here, I'm going to share this, so it's okay if you can't see it all. But that's what it looks like. You are going to follow this. And guys, this only works if you do it. Okay, so you have to be committed. I'm going to be honest, it's tedious. Like, I don't know, Mindy, if you feel this way, it's like, I kind of want to like punch myself in the face when I have to do Instagram. I have to like force myself to do it. And I actually quit Instagram a while back and I kick myself now because I'm like, oh, like if I would have kept with it, where would I be now? But I got so frustrated with it and I quit on it rather than learning it. I just gave it up. Don't be me. Don't be an Erica. Just do it because like the hard work is going to pay off. And it can be tedious, but if you get into a groove, like a schedule, it gets so much easier. Like it's the first week I was like, oh my gosh, this sucks. But now I'm kind of getting to a groove. So there's a couple of spots on here. It tells you what to do if they like your health and fitness posts. So many of you are like, I don't know who to talk to. I ran out of people to talk to. This is going to help you so much. Every single time somebody likes or comments on your page, you are going to message them, no matter what. I mean, unless you just messaged them yesterday, of course. But no matter what, you're going to message them. And you're going to say something like, this is what this says. Hey girl, thank you so much for liking my post. I appreciate it so much when people support my journey and send good vibes my way. Are you on a health journey too? You can do that. You can change it up to fit you, use your own style, use your own words. But that's the general gist. And I sent that to somebody the other day on Instagram. I showed my downline this. I sent it to her and she's like, oh, no problem. I've followed you forever. And she's like, I love your post so much. And I didn't say a thing about Beachbody. I didn't say a thing about workouts. I just talked to her about life. I was like, so what do you do for a living? And then, she has an only child. So I'm like, how old is your son? And back and forth. And then she's like, hey, I really want to know more about coaching. Like, I didn't even say it. So you guys, this works, but you have to do it. You have to be consistent with it and not be afraid to send that message. If they like your coaching opportunity post, same kind of thing. It's a different question at the end. Have you ever wondered what I do as a health and fitness coach? Again, you'll see these. I'll post it in the page. And then the recruiting formula, which Josh Coates calls it the ADOS formula, because a client of his who's a Beachbody coach, her name is Alexis Doss, and she kind of came up with this. So they call it the ADOS formula, but I changed it because I didn't want everyone to be like, what the heck is ADOS? So it takes you step by step. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6. And I was going to talk about tracking next, but these kind of go together. So I'm going to show you something. I'll share this too, but this is my system and I'm pretty basic. So if this is not your cup of tea, create your own. Okay, yours does not have to look like this. I'll share it though. Basically what I've been doing is I take this little, don't steal my people. No, these are my people, right, that I've been checking in with. And I go through. And step 1 is to find people with a good amount of followers and follow them, okay? And step 2 is to like their pics, comment on some pics, and then send them a message saying something like, and then here's where it is again. Oh my gosh, I just love your page so much. It's so inspiring, and I love the fact that you also blah, 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 like, do, have, whatever. How long have you, blah, blah, blah. So, like, for me, I've been connecting with people who are dairy-free or vegan. I'm like, I love the recipes that you've been sharing. They help me so much. How long have you been vegan? Super easy. It's something I can connect with, right? So as I go through, I just check it off. Step 2, I sent them a message, check it off. Okay, step 3, continue the conversation. That means they messaged me back. Okay, so you're going to see a lot of people did not message me back. Normal. Okay, don't get butthurt over it and go hide in a corner and say you suck. Normal. A lot of people are going to ignore you, okay? You have to talk to 10 people if you want one person to respond to you, okay? So that you have to get that into your head. So step 3, if they respond, I check it off, and then I continue the conversation. Step 4 is you're getting them over to Facebook. I'm not going to read through all this. You guys can read. You're getting them over to Facebook. Step 5, you're continuing to build the relationship by liking, commenting, engaging. Step 6, it's now been 2 weeks since that initial message from step 2, and that is when you're going to invite them to coaching, okay? 2 weeks. So he says, stop talking about their cat for like 17 months and just get to the point. So this is where social media comes in play, right? Because if you're somebody who follows the posting schedule, you can be confident that they will see your page and they'll know your heart, right? They're going to know who you are. They're going to know what you're doing, how you're helping people. They're going to know that you're inspiring people, right? So when you send that invite, it's not going to be out of the blue. You've already been talking to them for 2 weeks. You've established some sort of relationship. You've connected with them either on Instagram or both Instagram and Facebook. And then, like it's either going to be a yes or a no. But if it's a no, that's just the beginning of the relationship. Because now, you got to know. Now you can at least work with that, right? That's better than an ignore. So if you're somebody who is not following the posting schedule and you send an invite like that, you're probably not going to get a very good response rate, because people are going to be like, who is this girl? Like I don't even know who she is. I don't see her post. I don't know what she's all about. And so it really, like, social media is the glue that holds it all together. So, a lot of people will think, well, I'm following the schedule, right? And I'm posting my before and after photos and my throwback Thursday photos, and I'm not getting any response. Like, no one's commenting, no one's messaging me. And so then they stop. But what you have to understand is that the social media part, that's just to be like, to reach the masses. The real magic happens behind the scenes. You're not going to get people who are jumping out at you. I mean, maybe eventually when you're like 8 billion star diamond and whatever, like you've been around for a while, but people are not just going to be like jumping at you. You have to, I think that's a mistake a lot of new coaches make. They assume that successful coaches just have people like flooding the inbox. It's like, that's not how it works. Like, we actually like message people consistently behind the scenes every day. So you have to have both in place. Okay. You can't just post on social media and then think, well, it must not be working because no one's commenting. No, when you send them a message and you're like, hey, I was thinking of you today, how are you doing? They're going to be like, I've been watching you for weeks. And you're going to be like, what? You've never even hit like on one of my posts. Like, but that's the thing. Like, my CPA the other day, she's like, I have been just loving your Facebook. And she's like going on and on about my videos and my trip to LA and all this stuff. And I'm like, you literally have never liked a single one of my photos. Like, I didn't even know you knew I had Facebook. And I mean, that's just so true with everything. So you have to have both, okay? Posting schedule and this behind the scenes stuff. So I'm going to share my tracker. Oh, to take that a little further. I write the date, okay? So this was the week of February 27th, okay? I don't do all of this in a week. I get up to like step 3 probably in a week, maybe step 4. But then I go on to the next page. This is a new page, okay? So this is this week. But now I'm doing the first couple of steps this week for these new people. And I'm also going back to this older one. And I'm saying, okay, now I can invite them to Facebook. Now I can interact with them on Facebook. And now I can talk to them about coaching. Okay, so it's a process. You're not going to do this whole thing in a week. You should be getting to this by week 2-ish, okay? So that's my plan. I'm just going to keep building with all these papers. I'm going to keep going back and back. It probably takes me 30 minutes to do all of this in a day. And you can, Josh Coates says to do about 2 a day, okay? 2 of these kinds of conversations a day where you're reaching out. New people messages. Oh, I read your mind. Okay. How many new people messages are you sending per day on Instagram? Mindy asked. So Josh Coates said 2, right? But I just happen to have 20, I think I have 21 spaces on this. So I do about 3. And I don't always gosh, I've had a couple of rough days. So I was a little bit behind. So I didn't do much, like 2 days in a row. But then today I sat down for a couple minutes and I caught up. So, to me, it's like, that's okay, because I'm still going to get my number in by the end of the week. So I just try to fill this up. I think there's like 21, and I just try to fill it up by the end of the week, because I feel like that's a really good amount of new people. And then if they're not responding to me ever, cross out, find someone new. Okay, because you don't want to waste your time with someone who doesn't care. And he says to look for people with over 1,000 followers, just because you know that they have like, you know that their people like them, like people want to follow them. They kind of have an established network already, so they're good to, you know, you don't want someone with like 10 followers, like who has like 2 posts. It's not really going to work well. Are you adding names to the list of everyone you message or just the ones that reply? I'm adding every single person I message, but here, this is where I was showing you step 3. These, like if you don't see a check mark in step 3, that means they never responded to me. So I'm not going back to them. I might try to engage a little bit on their page because it's possible they just didn't see my message. A lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this existed. So I might continue to engage, but I'm not going to message them again until they message back. I'm just going to move on and keep going. Do you PM people who like your post that you're friends with on Facebook, or do you connect to them on Facebook? If they're on Facebook, I usually just connect on Facebook. That's easier for me. I hate Instagram messaging. But I mean, a lot of these messages I scroll through, like I didn't finish, but I was going through my Instagram earlier today from my transformation post, and this is my, can't really see it because it's super bright, but I had 110 people like it. So I'm going through and I'm literally like, okay, click on this person's, nope, Chinese, not gonna message them. Like, you know, I'm going through everything. And Apple Watch custom faces, nope, not messaging them. Like KW Cross, oh, she looks all right. So, you know, someone I might be able to connect with. And by all right, you guys know what I mean, like someone that I could help. Like, not like, so I'm just looking for people who are like me, that I could connect with, that I would be comfortable messaging, and I'm messaging literally everybody, and I'm writing them down. It doesn't take very long, and if you want to, you could also go through, like, I could sit down right now, and I could go through all of those people who liked my post, and I could write them all in my next form for next week, and just write them and get them in there, so that next week, all I have to do is go through and send messages, because I've already found the people. Right? So you can plan ahead like that. If that makes it easier, you could do it like in a batch. Okay, any more questions on that part? Does that all make sense? Okay, I will share both of those. Again, feel free to make your own if that doesn't work for you. I've kind of backed off from Teamsy right now because I'm putting a lot of focus into Instagram, and it doesn't transfer well. Like I can't put someone in Teamsy until I move them to Facebook. Otherwise it'd be like I don't even know, some of these people, I don't even know their real name. Like what am I going to put in Teamsy? Like exhale doubt. Like that's, so I just kind of like stopped using it for now, and I'm just using pencil and paper, which is fine because I'm tracking. The point is you have to track in some way. So when you are sending them that step 6 message about coaching, you're saying something like, have you ever wondered what I do as a health and fitness coach? Guys, follow the script. Like, I know that we shared some sample calls to action when we were talking about our transformation post. And then like I was scrolling through Facebook, and this isn't to make you feel bad if you did this. Trust me, I should show you some of my old posts. Like I was right where you are. I'm just trying to help. But like if we like tell you what to do, but then you like completely change it, like it might not be as effective. Like there's a reason we're telling you to do it a certain way. There's a reason Josh Coates tells us to do it this way, because it works. So you have to, like, you're probably going to feel some fear. Like you're going to be like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I should say it that way. Just do it. Like suck it up and do it. These people don't know you. Like who cares, right? If they say no, they say no. It doesn't mean that you're like the worst person on the planet. It just means it's like they don't have enough information or they're not ready. Okay, so do not change it. Like make it your own a little bit, but like the general premise, like follow it, okay? And at the end of the coaching message where you're asking about coaching, he says to say, if you're interested, I'd love to chat. If not, no worries. And at first I thought, that's weird, because we're taught to have posture, right? To be confident. And to me, saying, if not, no worries, that doesn't seem confident to me. But he was saying, because he was trained with John Maxwell. John Maxwell is like the person for leadership. If you don't know, read some of his books. John Maxwell says, if you don't give them a door, a way out, they'll find a way out. They'll feel trapped. So saying, if not, no worries, it takes the pressure off a little bit. It just makes them feel a little bit more comfortable. So say that, okay, don't skip that part. It's important. Once I post it, if you have questions, let me know. I'm going to show you something real quick. We have a couple of minutes, and I probably won't get through all of it, but I want to at least show you, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. This is a good way to build your following. Hold on, let me get it up. This is a good way to build your following. It's called Instagress. And it's super cheap, you guys. It's like the best investment in your business you could do. And it takes some learning, okay? It's not going to be like all easy the first time you do it. Okay, can you see this? Yes, Instagress? Okay. So Instagress is a way to build your following like while you sleep, basically. It's like it does it for you. So you can see that I've purchased Activity Time, and it's been running right now for 2 days nonstop. In that time, it has liked 1,700 photos for me. And it has followed 900 people, and it has unfollowed 600. I unfollow because if they don't follow me back, I unfollow them because I'm like, I don't have space for you. Like, if you don't love me enough to follow me, peace. So like I need like my people, you know? So this is super confusing at first, not gonna lie, okay? But you gotta play with it, okay? I want you to go in and start playing with it and read the question marks. Like, this is how I learned. I went and I was like, oh, okay, and I would read it. Okay, so basically what it does is you can really target like who you want to connect with. Rather than having to like scroll hashtags forever and spend like hours on it, this does it for you, okay? So if I want to, I'm going to show you tags. Okay, so if I want to find people who are like me, I can go down in this tag section and I can do add tag. Okay, these are all the tags of things that I look for. I do if it fits your macros. So that's who I'm looking to connect with, okay? Because I can relate to them. Dairy-free. Tone It Up is a huge community. I don't know. They're really happy, but maybe someday they won't be and they'll want to join us. But they're really awesome, and they're really good people to follow and connect with. Planet Box, because I share pictures of Kohl's lunches. So I know that people that love Planet Box are my people, right? Because they love organization and healthy things. You could go in here and click add, and I could be like, I don't know. What if I just put coach? And it will show you all the tags that you could use that have to do with coach, and it tells you how many tags there are, so the most popular ones, okay? So you're going to pick tags. Again, you don't want to do coach. You don't want to do beach body, nothing like that, okay? General things that have to do with you. If you like crafting, do it. If you're a teacher, do it. If you are I don't know, professional, you work in an office, hashtag cubicle. I don't know, something that has to do with you, okay? So there's where you're going to do your tags. It's going to go through and like all of those pictures with tags, okay? So when you like someone's photo, they naturally are going to go to your account, right? They're going to go to your account, they're going to check it out and hopefully follow you. Then you can also say, I want to follow people. Let me come down here. Okay, so you can do like a follow cycle. It will tell you what you should do. There's like defaults. You know, this just means the follow cycle. This just means that I follow 300 people and then I unfollow 300 people. Okay, so because I don't want to be following like 15,000 people, so it just goes in a cycle. So every time it hits the 300 follows, then it goes to the unfollows and it goes back and forth. Okay, so that's that. And then unfollow people who don't follow me. That one's a simple one. You could add locations. You can be like, I want people in Indian Trail, North Carolina, or whatever. I don't do that. I don't because we help people all over the place. Then you can do that you want to follow people who follow other people. Okay, do you follow me? You can follow people who follow other people. So for Josh Coates, because he works with Beachbody coaches, he follows people who follow Carl Daikeler, right? Because people who follow Carl Daikeler are coaches. So he wants to target them. So he follows them. He follows people who follow Chalene. We want to follow people who are following things that we like. Okay, so he mentioned Target. Like stay-at-home moms love Target. Any mom loves Target, right? So you could follow, if you say, I want to follow people who follow Target, you could put that in here. I could say add Target. I like to follow people who follow Erin Condren because I like to plan. I like, pretty things, and that's who I like. All these things, like Jillian Michaels, I know they're into fitness, but they're not doing Beachbody, right? And that might be an easy transition. So I follow people who follow Jillian Michaels. You could add anybody here. You could be like, I want to follow people who follow The Rock, if like that's your thing. You can do anything, okay? My blacklist, I don't want to follow anybody who hashtags it works. Like, no, I don't. I don't want to follow those people. I don't want to follow anyone who hashtags Beachbody because I know they're already doing it. They're already a coach or they're already doing it. So I don't want to follow them. I don't want to follow anyone who says Beachbody coach or anything. I don't want to follow people who follow Carl, and I don't want to follow people who follow Chalene because I know they're coaches. Okay, so I don't want to waste my time or my money. So I could probably get a little bit more specific here. I just haven't yet. I can only see like 3 of you, so I hope you guys are following this. Okay, what else do I need to show you before this ends? Filters. Yeah, you could do, for media age, for filters, like newest is great because if you do any, that means that it would like a photo from like a year ago. You don't want to do that. You want to like the newest things. Okay, so people aren't like, that's weird. I don't know. This is all, I don't really pay attention to any of this stuff. It's just a bunch of stuff. You can comment. You can have it auto comment. I don't do these anymore. I did way back in the day, but I don't have it comment for me just because I think like you can tell, right? You can tell when someone does like an auto comment on you, and I don't like that. I want it to be more genuine. So you can buy, like, you can try it out if you want for 10 days for $5. That's super cheap. Super cheap, and it will grow your following. And the more following you have, the more people that'll follow you. So I'm going to end this, and then, okay. So I'm going to go through and see if there's any other questions I missed. I don't think so. Okay. Did that make sense? Head nod if it did. Okay. If you have questions about Instagress, feel free to ask me. I'm not an expert yet. I'm still playing around with it, but it's, you basically just have to mess around with it and learn it yourself and kind of figure out what works for you. If you're not getting a lot of follows back, then you might want to, tweak it a little bit, like play around with your hashtags or your usernames or whatever. How long have I been using it? 2 weeks maybe. I've been doing it like consistently. I used to use it way back in the day, but it didn't have all those features. Like you couldn't do all that. You could only like and comment, and you couldn't follow people who follow people, which I think is really cool. And you also couldn't unfollow people. So there's a lot of cool things in there. It has really big potential to blow up your business. So, okay, hopefully this was helpful. I think once you have the scripts in front of you, that will be even more helpful. And then if you start using it tomorrow, like start messaging people, start sending these conversations. You're going to message every single person who likes or comments on any health and fitness photo that you post on your page or on Instagram. So that's how you find new people. You should never run out of people if you're on Instagram and you're sending messages to people who like your photos, because it's endless, guys. Okay, I will post this recording probably tomorrow, not gonna lie, probably gonna go get in bed. So I'll upload the files tonight and then I'll post this tomorrow, okay? All right, good night, guys.